A few days ago, Altrac, the contracted manager of Sydney's L1, 2 and 3 light rail lines, released a proposal to build two new tram lines, or potentially just one, as we'll see shortly. Taverners Hill to Central via Parramatta Road, and Green Square to Central via Zetland. In this video, I'll explain who Altrac are, what their proposal is, why the government should capitalise on this opportunity, and some other thoughts I have. Altrac, which doesn't stand for anything, is a private consortium that was contracted to finance, design, build and operate the CBD and South East lines, L2 and 3, and also operates and maintains the Inner West line, L1. Their operating structure is quite complicated, with several levels of subcontracting, but the important thing to remember is that they are privately owned and for profit. You'll see why later. Altrac are proposing to pay for, construct and operate a new 11-kilometre line with 21 stops. Starting at Sloane Street on Parramatta Road, the line will have stops at, note that names were not officially given, Upward Street, Palace Street, Leichhardt, Young Street, Piermont Bridge Road, Camperdown, Usid West, Usid East, Wattle Street, possibly multiple stops at Central, Prince Alfred Park, Redfern Park, Baptist Street, Crown Park, Woolubba Park, Joynton Park, Zetland Avenue and Green Square Station. The proposal has some quite detailed alignment diagrams for some sections, linked below. Stops would have 67-metre long platforms to fit a married pair tram with similar designs to CBD and South East. Altrac present a few options for Central Station. Option 1 has the new line with a stop near Railway Square and the existing stop at Chalmers Street, with no changes to existing operations. Option 2 has L1 running into a new terminus at Railway Square, with the new line stopping there and at Chalmers Street, with no change to L2 or L3. Option 3 would see all lines share a stop on Eddy Avenue, with Chalmers Street removed. Option 4 sees L1 run to Chalmers Street via Elizabeth Street, potentially through running on the new line, which also stops at Chalmers Street. Option 5 has L1 terminating at Railway Square with a stop on the new line, and L2 and 3 running into Chalmers Street via Elizabeth Street, also sharing with the new line. Option 6 explores other reconfigurations of the current lines, with the L1 running to Green Square via Chalmers Street, the new line running to Circular Quay via Railway Square, and L2 and L3 remaining unchanged. I think option 1 or 3 would be the most likely. As for the vehicles, the proposal calls for 44 33-metre long trams, coupled to make 22 married pairs. The trams would be interoperable with the L2 and 3, providing capability to run special event services to Moore Park, etc. as required. Services would run to the same headways as the L2 and 3, with the tram every 15 minutes late at night and up to every 8 minutes during the day on weekdays. A full journey would take around 47 minutes. Traction power and other utilities would be provided by 5 substations, with some sections capable of being wire-free, although in my personal opinion this should be avoided. A depot could be located somewhere along the existing L1 line or underneath Moore Park Gulf as it is redeveloped. Other modes of transport would generally be supported by this proposal. References are made to widening footpaths and possibly reducing speed limits, bicycle parking at stops, and potential new cycleways along Parramatta Road, although it would likely see the removal of the Chalmers Street cycleway, hopefully replaced on a parallel route. Bus lanes will be retained along Parramatta Road, with scope for bus network adjustments. General traffic capacity would, however, likely be reduced, with things like lane narrowing and parking removals almost certain to occur. It is rare that a private company offers an unsolicited proposal to build transport infrastructure. In offering to finance the project, Altrac would likely take the brunt of the upfront cost, with government contracts gradually paying off the debt, a positive given the forecast tight state budgets in coming years. Given what I said earlier about Altrac being for profit, the line would have to be viable on surface investigations. A private company would not sink any money into a project which would lose them money, and unlike the government, Altrac have no political incentives to build the line through particular regions. Keeping infrastructure spending constant is also important. We shouldn't perpetually build massive new metro projects, but smaller scale things like new tram lines or little rail extensions ensure the infrastructure construction sector maintains momentum, which in the long term will increase efficiency and lower prices. That is primarily how other countries can build transport infrastructure so cheaply. They've simply gotten very good at it. Personally, I think this line will bring a remarkable level of change to Sydney's inner suburbs. The Parramatta road section will revitalise the area, which has been suffocated by car dependency for decades, making it easier to get to and more pleasant to be in. It will also allow increased housing density, adding supply to Sydney's housing market. Potential future extensions could take the line west to Burwood North, a future metro interchange and supergrowth area, and Strathfield. The Green Square section will provide significant new capacity on what is currently a chronically overcrowded bus service to Zetland, which has had unbelievable levels of development with no direct rail access. It will also link to Green Square Station and potentially a new Zetland metro station somewhere down the line, pun intended, allowing multimodal journeys into the city or south to the airport or southeastern suburbs. The ball is in the government's court. We can only wait and see what happens next. I hope the line progresses further into the next stages of development. This could be a significant project at surprisingly small cost to taxpayers. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.